So it doesn't take an expert to tell you that our #1 export over here in America is violence. It feels like every single day that you live in America, someone will pass away over the most trivial thing. And today, I found a terrible time to record this video, so I'm sorry if I sound off in this video, and I've also found the worst reason someone lost their life. This man right here killed somebody. Now what was it over? A person, maybe some money, maybe belongings? I'll give you a couple seconds to come up with a reason. Now, have you come up with your answer? Because if you think you guessed it, you're probably wrong. And if you did guess correctly, it's because you've probably seen the story already. This absolute terrible person took someone's life because he thought they weren't wearing gloves while preparing his food. And what's even worse is that they actually were wearing gloves. We're gonna dive into this, and before I start, like and subscribe and all that stuff. But I'm just gonna leave a disclaimer right here because a lot of people like to defend the indefensible. He was a felon before committing this crime.
Father is dead after what police say was an argument over pizza. The man killed while working in his family's store. It happened Saturday at Action Food and Liquor on MLK and Keefe. Tonight, 12 News' Madison Moore spoke with the victim's brother about the senseless act of rage.
Walking through the doors of his corner store on MLK and Keefe will never be the same for Muhammad Awais. He's back at work after someone shot and killed his brother, a young father.
I told my brother, please, I need help like for an hour and a half. He told me, I got you.
The store owner says during that time, Charles Leggett ordered a pizza.
My brother served him and gave him the ticket. He went to the dude back there to make him the pizza. He gave him the ticket. I think the dude, he didn't wear gloves or something.
Do you remember if you were wearing gloves or not?
I was wearing gloves, I'm pretty sure.
The employee who made the pizza is afraid to be identified.
He went back to the front and he got to arguing with the cashier in the front. And they had some words, yelling at each other. And then I just hear a pow.
Prosecutors say store surveillance video shows an argument at the counter, and then the gunman abruptly, quote, puts the gun to Awais's chest, killing 26-year-old Jamil Awais.
This absolute terrible person took someone's life over a gas station pizza. What could you have possibly been arguing about that you had to kill this person? And I'd like to imagine this argument could have been solved really easily just by showing, hey, I'm wearing gloves. I do not see in any timeline where it could have escalated to the point that this guy had to pull out a gun. This is premeditated murder. He had the time to pull out a weapon, hold it to someone's chest, argue with that person, and pull the trigger. If he is found guilty, I don't think he should ever get out.
He shot him here in his heart. And he died. Like, soon I came to the store, they told me, sorry for your loss, you know.
A Palestinian immigrant, Awais came to the U.S. in 2013, leaving behind a wife and infant daughter.
You know, it's a big loss. He's a good guy. He's like my son. Like, when he came, he was a little boy, you know. He grew up by me. That's why this thing is hurt me too much.
Leggett is now being held on a $200,000 cash bond here at the Milwaukee County Jail. If convicted, he faces up to 75 years in prison. Reporting in Milwaukee, Madison Moore, WISN 12 News.
Leggett is a convicted felon who should not have had a gun. He's charged with first-degree reckless homicide.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually started tearing up when the brother gave his account of the story. Seeing a father just lose his life to something so tragic like this just because one dumb person decided to do a dumb thing is awful. And I could just really hear the hurt in the brother's voice. Like, it generally felt heartbreaking. I feel bad for everyone involved in this situation. Well, besides the obvious culprit, I imagine the other employee probably feels extremely bad. He's probably just thinking, man, if my gloves were just a little bit more visible, probably could have saved his life. I would imagine that you probably feel a little bit of survivor's guilt from this. But the person who decided to do this in the first place is actually an unhinged criminal. I did try to Google him and I couldn't find any crimes he committed prior to this, and that's mostly because he shares the name with a lot of famous people apparently, but he was a felon, which means not only should he not have had that gun in the first place, we don't know how he got it. And to be honest with you, I kind of think that it's terrible that this dude even gets a bond. I would understand if it was an alleged killing, but he's literally on camera. So now if someone shells out those clams to release him until the trial date, he just gets to walk around a free man. Or at least that's my understanding of it. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I am clearly not a lawyer. But I think this guy should never see the light of day again. This sounds to me like it was premeditated, he knew what he was doing, and not only that, he had time to contemplate and just think to himself, is this worth taking someone's life over? He said, hell yeah. And now that child is gonna have to grow up without one of their parents. The family is probably grieving. Friends have lost someone. And it breaks my heart knowing that someone did this over a pair of gloves. I don't want to ramble on too much about this because it is a really sad situation. My condolences to this family. But anyway, that's all from me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you all on the next one. Later.